I've spent an absurd amount of time thinking about the fact that inevitably I'm going to die. Now that might sound morbid or strange to you, but there's a good reason why. And it really is because it shifts my perspective. It snaps me out of being worried about little problems and petty concerns that even a few years from now won't matter. And by the end of my life, I probably won't even remember at all. It centers me and it grounds me and it forces me to look at the things that truly do matter. One of those being, who do I want to be remembered as? And what do I want to be remembered for? Who do you want to be remembered as, and what do you want to be remembered for? It's a key question because it matters so much. Think about it. The people that you have come in contact with, the places that you've been, the environments that you have surrounded yourself with, have you left them better off or worse off than before you came along? This is a big deal. This is your legacy and your impact and your imprint on this world that you're leaving behind. And even though it might be temporary, and even though it all might fade away eventually, it's something that matters far more than our day-to-day problems and worries and overthinking and concern. And when we look at it, it takes us into our heart and into our true meaningful mission and struggle and who we really are. Not this weird little facade that we put up, or the games that we play with other people, or trying to fit in socially, or any other concern like that. It makes us think, what's the point? Why am I here? What am I doing to make a difference? And when we think about that, we can step out of all the little tiny details and minutia, and we can finally make a difference and do something that will have an impact. Because so long as we're caught up in that tiny little bubble, it's very difficult to actually do something meaningful. I remember when I would spend time worrying about what my friends thought of me, or whether or not my family approved of what I wanted to pursue, and I was trying to people please and make everybody happy. And when I really pulled back and had this thought, like, I'm going to die, all of a sudden, it didn't matter so much anymore. And what actually mattered was becoming my best self and making an impact in other people's lives and helping them. Now think about it. There are people who go their entire lives just worrying about trying to please everybody else and to fit in, and they never pursue the things that are meaningful to them. And I could have easily gone down that road. Thankfully, somebody snapped me out of it, just like I'm hoping to snap you out of it. So if you're headed down a road where all that will be left once you're gone is nothing, then you might want to rethink your approach and you might want to start making some changes. See, you have to know yourself. You don't even have to know what other people want from you or what the world is expecting, but you do have to know what's within you, what you feel is authentic, what you feel is true to you, because that's what really matters here. Now, I also want you to think about who you want to impact and who you want to make a difference for. Maybe you want to give to charity and improve people's lives in countries where they're less fortunate, or maybe you really care about a certain type of disease or a disadvantage that people can grow up with or experience at some point in their life, and you want to help with that and you want to try to make their life better in some way. Or maybe you care about serving a certain type of audience. For me, throughout the years, I've been blessed to work with a lot of amazing entrepreneurs who go out and make a huge difference in the world. So for me, that's been very, very passionate work, and I want to help those people play at their A game so that they can help and serve more people as well. What really matters is your care for other people, right? So often we get sucked into, I have to make money, I have to make a career and a reputation for myself, I have to prove that I'm worth something, and the very best way to do that is by going and helping people that you care about anyway. So why not, get 2 for 1 in a very positive and bright way, rather than pursuing the selfish part of that, or the part of that that feels like you have to really show off and you have to be this type of person that isn't authentic to your true self, when you could really just be in alignment and feeling great and enjoying each moment of your life and pursuing it from an angle where you're doing it out of fulfillment, not just some form of gratification. Now, if you want help aligning with your true self and you actually want to step it up to a whole nother level where you're accountable to a group of amazing people as well as myself, then I invite you to hop on a free call with me. Just go to erafael.com and you can book a one-on-one consultation. We'll talk and we can see if it's a good fit for us to work together so I can personally mentor, guide, and coach you to be the best version of yourself and to really take advantage of your full potential and enjoy your life to its maximum. Now, after you've figured out what you want to be remembered for and who you want to make an impact on, I want you to ask yourself, why does this matter to me? Why do I want to do this? Why am I driven? Why am I passionate about it? There's always a good reason why. And when you're clear on your reason why, you have powerful fuel and infinite energy really to do what you need to do, to execute, to follow through, to be consistent. That can't happen without that driving force. If you have weak fuel, a weak source of fuel, then you're not going to sustain your leverage and your actions will start to dwindle and you'll start to get distracted and find a new shiny object, and before you know it, you're caught up in petty concerns again and you're living your life like you used to. Remember, it's going to end someday. This doesn't last forever. And when you really see that clearly, then you understand that this is imperative. You have to figure out what is really, really important to you, who is really, really important to you, and why this and them matters. Because if you don't have this, again, you're a leaf in the wind, you're just floating around, you haven't really decided and committed to a mission that's meaningful, you don't have a meaningful struggle, and therefore your life becomes a struggle. It's always difficult when we don't have clear direction. It's always difficult when every little distraction and every problem that comes up throws us off our game. We don't want to be thrown off our game by the slightest hint of wind or a little bump in the road. We want to be grounded and strong and playing at our prime, being our best selves. We can't do that as long as we're caught up in this little weird perspective where everything is gonna last forever and every little problem is so important and every person who said something bad about you, it's a crisis. And none of that really matters. None of that matters at all. And so focus on what does matter while you're here, because it won't be forever and it would be a real shame if you didn't take advantage of your potential and you let it go to waste.